Hey guys, Johnny here from Ecomx SEO. It's not always about traffic and rankings. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button below or head on over to our free private Facebook group where we've got plenty of great discussion going on over there about Shopify SEO. In this video today, I just wanted to put a bit of perspective on something that as SEOs, and in particular, if you're an ecom SEO or a Shopify store owner who's doing SEO on the site, or you're an agency owner, or you've got clients who do SEO, that we tend to get tied up and really sometimes focus too much without perspective. Now, what I mean by that is we all love traffic and we all love seeing traffic increase. We love rankings and we love seeing rankings increase. And if you've been in SEO a while, you'll know that there's a term called vanity URLs or vanity SEO where you might, you get a good feeling and that sort of that hit of pride when you rank for a keyword, and then it might even start bringing in some traffic. If you're working on client sites and you start to see traffic increases, and you can report that to the client every month, and you can, it's a little bit of that bragging, I suppose. And same with rankings. You can report any type of rankings you want, but especially for ecom, it can be a little bit of a false positive where if you're not generating rankings and traffic that are actually benefiting the business, you've got to kind of think, what's the point? And I see a lot of SEOs doing this in Facebook groups and other forums where they'll talk about their rankings and talk about their traffic, and they'll show graphs and all the rest, which is, look, I'm not downplaying traffic and rankings. It's incredibly important. But sometimes you need to look a little bit deeper, and also it does help because SEO doesn't always go right and doesn't always head in the direction you want. So you've got to kind of understand where the perspective is. So I just wanted to show an example today of a site we're working on, where we've been working on this site, I think, about 3 months. There's been quite a lot of restructuring going on because it had a lot of problems. This is a Shopify SEO store, and we've seen the traffic, the overall traffic actually pull down a little bit, and it's plateaued now. But we knew that was going to happen, and you've got to sometimes trust the process. But when you look at it a little bit deeper, which I'll show you now, you'll see actually what's happened. So we've got this store here. Here's just a screenshot of and this is for the last 30 days. So this is the last 30 days online store sessions. And obviously you can see that they've been doing a lot of social advertising, a lot of ads on Facebook, Instagram. They've got a good brand, so they get some direct traffic, but we also see that direct traffic, the attribution in Google Analytics can be attributed a lot to search as well. So Google Analytics has that problem with the attribution sometimes, so it's always hard to really understand where it's coming from. So over the last 30 days, we've got our search here, and this includes all organic search, so that is Google, Bing, Yahoo, all the rest, how Shopify actually allocates search. And you can see we've had a small increase, so 4%, which is good. It's heading in the right direction. But over the last 2 months, it's come down a little bit, and now it's sort of plateaued. Now it's starting to turn back up a bit. And 3 months, it's short time in the scheme of things, but for a store that's wanting to see growth, it's a long time, especially with an e-com store. So you could say there hasn't been much impact on the search volume coming in, or visitors actually coming in from organic search impacting on the store. So just a little bit of background. So this store had, they're doing a lot of blog type stuff, and that was good. But they were doing a lot of informational type blogging, and it's great to build traffic and a lot of topical relevance. So you're bringing in visitors that are interested in the topic and interested in the information, and that's important because then you can start to retarget them later on with Facebook ads or Google ads or whatever. And you will make conversions on those visitors as well. But what we want to try and do, because it's an e-com store, we want to find those searchers or those visitors that are looking for particular products, and they've half got their credit card out of their pocket. They're in that buying mode, and so it's that you're looking for the intent of the search. So what we did, we went through and we've audited the entire site. They had lots of problems, but just one of the things that they were doing, a lot of the internal linking was, because the site's already got reasonably good authority, a lot of the internal linking was pushing link equity to those informational pages. And that's why they were ranking, and that's why they were bringing in traffic. Now, when we looked at this, that's all great, but they weren't generating a lot of sales from those particular information pages. So we had two choices. Do we look at restructuring or repurposing that content on those URLs and try and drive sales from those pages? Or do we try and actually restructure the internal linking and start pushing some link equity and then hopefully some traffic and buyer intent to pages that we know are going to convert more? So category pages, for example, and actual product pages. And when you look at these things, it's sometimes hard to know which is the best way to go. But we wanted to maintain, obviously, the traffic to those blog type pages, but we wanted to try and increase some of that or divert some of that traffic to pages that might convert better. So our choice at that point was to restructure the internal links and try and push them traffic and increase rankings and bring in more search from pages that are going to convert better on the first touch. And that's what we did. And in the process of that, we did actually change some of the internal linking. So we were removing some link equity going to the blog pages. So for example, they had a collection page and they're actually linking to a blog page. And from the home page, they were linking to blog articles. So it was pushing a bit of link equity there. We actually changed a little bit about that. So we're starting to direct that link equity to the collection page of that particular topic, and then also to some products. Now, if we change the internal linking and we direct that equity to the category pages, we're also going to improve the power or push that power through to the product pages. So our thought was, and we've done this before, that and with experience we know this can work, where you're going to boost that power of the category page or what you could call a hub page, and then that's going to increase and help increase rankings of those products as well. And in this case, that's exactly what happened. Now, it didn't increase overall search volume, but what it did, if we look at now the sales by traffic source, you can see over the last 30 days that it actually increased the revenue from search. So we're actually getting better conversions on search with the same traffic just by restructuring those internal URLs. So my point with this video is just sometimes you've just got to stop, because I'd see a lot of people talking about it. Stop just focusing on traffic or stop just focusing on rankings. You've got to look at the entire picture and see where the possibilities are. And you can, and I actually had another client yesterday, had a good discussion with, where we've been working with those guys for 3 or 4 years. And they started out making, when we started, they were making no sales online, and we've been able to help them increase their revenue and drive all from organic search, essentially. A little bit of retargeting with Facebook, but the front end comes from organic search. And they're now doing really quite well. And what he was amazed at, and he said, when we started in the first 6 months, we did build a lot of traffic to the store, and we were getting, X amount of traffic per day. And actually, over the last 2 years, the amount of traffic per day hasn't increased all that much. It keeps increasing, but it hasn't just kept snowballing. But the revenue has snowballed, and that's from exactly the same process. Just trying to build our traffic around the search intent and increase revenue that way. So it's I suppose you could call it conversion rate optimization, but it's sort of search or SEO conversion rate optimization, because you're using the way you can structure your site to help increase that traffic of the pages you want, and that are going to convert better. So that's just a little example there. Sometimes it can help to look at these things in a bit of a different perspective. And yeah, hopefully that was a little bit of value for everyone. Okay, thanks. Talk to you next video.